They left you, and it broke you, but heaven never wastes heartbreak. You've been asking yourself the hardest question a faithful heart can whisper. Why would God let me fall so deeply for someone who was never meant to stay? The nights feel endless now, and your prayers seem to echo back empty, bouncing off walls that once held so much hope. You thought you heard His voice guiding you toward them, but now you're wondering if you misunderstood everything. Maybe that silence isn't abandonment. Maybe it's preparation wearing the mask of pain. You replay every moment, every conversation, every stolen glance that felt like a promise. The way they looked at you made you believe in forever, but forever walked away on a Tuesday afternoon with nothing more than a text message and the sound of your own heartbeat filling the quiet. You've been carrying this ache like a stone in your chest, wondering if you'll ever trust your heart again. Would you still believe in divine timing if it meant sitting with this emptiness longer than you planned? The hardest part isn't just missing them. It's the questions that follow you into every quiet moment. Did I hear God wrong? Am I not worthy of the love I keep praying for? You've watched friends find their person while you collect almost relationships like broken promises. Each ending leaves you more confused about what love is supposed to feel like, what it's supposed to cost, and whether you're asking for too much when you pray for something real. Sometimes you catch yourself wondering if God sees you at all. The world keeps spinning, couples keep finding each other, and you keep waking up to the same empty space beside you. Your faith feels fragile now, like glass that's been dropped too many times. You're tired of people telling you that everything happens for a reason when the reason feels cruel and the timing feels wrong. But what if the breaking was never meant to destroy you? What if it was meant to reveal something deeper than you could see before? Sometimes God allows our hearts to attach to the wrong person, not as punishment, but as preparation for recognizing what real love actually looks like. The counterfeit teaches you to value the authentic. The shallow shows you how much you truly crave depth. Maybe that's why it's been taking so long, because heaven's been building your heart first. Before the rain, there's always the drought. Before peace, there's always the pause. The wrong person exposed every wound that still needed healing, every fear that still whispered lies about your worth. They held up a mirror to show you where you were still giving your power away, still seeking validation from sources that could never sustain you. You loved them with everything you had, but they could only love you with everything they had. And what they had wasn't enough to hold the weight of your soul. That wasn't your fault. That was their limitation, not your lack. You were pouring ocean-deep love into a shallow vessel, wondering why it kept overflowing instead of filling up. The heartbreak became holy ground, where God could finally reach the parts of you that success never touched. Our minds crave quick answers, immediate relief, clear direction. But faith teaches us to sit with questions until peace becomes the answer itself. In that space between asking and receiving, between hoping and knowing, something sacred happens. Your capacity for love doesn't shrink. It deepens. Your standards don't lower. They clarify. Maybe it was never about finding the right person. Maybe it was about becoming the person who could recognize them when they arrived. The wrong relationships taught you what you won't tolerate again. They showed you the difference between chemistry and compatibility, between attraction and alignment, between someone who loves the idea of you and someone who loves the truth of you. You had to learn that desperation dressed as devotion isn't love, that anxiety masquerading as passion isn't connection, that someone who requires you to dim your light to make them comfortable isn't your person. These weren't wasted lessons. They were essential education for a heart that was being prepared for something real. God never wastes a wound when it leads to wisdom. Every tear you cried was watering the soil of your soul, preparing it for love that wouldn't require you to lose yourself to find it. The wrong person stripped away your illusions about what love should feel like, revealing what love actually is when it's rooted in truth rather than fantasy. One day, you'll look back and realize the silence wasn't empty. It was the sound of your roots growing deeper, your discernment growing sharper, your heart growing stronger. The delays weren't denials. They were divine protection, keeping you from settling for less than what your soul was created to receive. The love meant for you will never need chasing. It will arrive quietly, right on time, carrying peace instead of chaos, bringing clarity instead of confusion. And when it does, you'll finally understand why your heart had to break first, not to punish you, but to prepare you for a love that reflects heaven's own patient, purposeful design. The relationship you thought would heal you became the wound that taught you how to heal yourself. All those nights you spent trying to fix what was breaking, you were actually learning how to build something unbreakable inside your own soul. The person who couldn't stay showed you exactly what staying power looks like when it comes from within. This is where the real transformation begins. Not in the moment they choose you, but in the moment you choose yourself. Not when they finally see your worth, but when you stop needing their eyes to define it. The wrong person becomes the right teacher when you realize they were never meant to complete you. They were meant to reveal that you were already complete. You've been carrying their rejection like a verdict about your value, but rejection is just redirection wearing a painful mask. Every door that closed in your face was protecting you from walking into the wrong room. Every person who walked away was making space for someone who wouldn't need convincing to stay. Every unanswered prayer was answered with something better than what you originally asked for. If this message found you at the right moment, breathe deeply and trust that your story isn't ending in heartbreak. Your waiting isn't wasted time. It's sacred preparation for a love that will honor both your heart and your faith. The wrong person taught you to recognize the right one.